Now we now go to Power Automate with the Power Platform Advocate, Rachel. Rachel, are you
Okay,
there?
hi Francis. Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
I think it's working.
Are you able to share your screen?
Yeah, I can. I can share my screen.
Okay.
Just one second. Okay. When you guys see my screen, just let me know.
Yes, yes. It's we can be able to see your screen.
Okay, thank you. Okay, today I'm going to be explaining to you on Microsoft Power Automate. I'm going to introduce you to Microsoft Power Automate, and my name is Rachel Irabor. I'm a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador and a Power Platform advocate, a freelance writer, a podcaster, and a YouTube content creator. I know there are much, but so this is me, and I post mostly on my YouTube channel. I post mostly on Power Platform and Microsoft 365 technology. I post podcasts on Microsoft Power Platform also, that to create awareness, especially in Africa. I'm a student at the University of Benin. I'm studying industrial mathematics. And yeah, I think that's me. Thank you. So I'm going to be talking to you about Microsoft Power Automate, and especially if you are new to Microsoft Power Automate or this is your first time hearing about Microsoft Power Automate, it's actually a tool in Microsoft Power Platform, and it's used for automation that anybody can use it. It does not matter whatever background you are coming from. You don't have to be a Power Platform developer. You can be a data analyst. You can come from any background, any career. You don't have to even be a tech person to be able to use Microsoft Power Automate, because it allows you to automate tasks, like repeated tasks that you have to do. That's something you have to do today, you have to do tomorrow, you have to do it every day in a week. You can easily just automate that task. Or maybe you have to send, let me say for instance, I have to send an Excel file to my manager. I have to send an Excel file to my manager every day, maybe at 9 a.m. I have to send an Excel file to him. I can easily just automate it that, okay, I don't have to go through that long process of sending it manually. At that time each day, my manager is going to actually get that Excel file on their email. And in Microsoft Power Automate, we have different types of flows. When you are creating your flow, we have the cloud flow, we have the desktop flow, and we also have the business process flow. So after this, I'm actually going to show you my Power Automate environment and show you these things here. So in cloud flow, we have the automated cloud flow, we have the instant cloud flow, and we also have the scheduled cloud flow. Like for the example I just gave just now, I spoke about scheduled cloud flow. Like that, you can set your flow, like what time do you want this flow to run? Do I want it to run every week? Do I want it to run 3 times in a week? Do I want it to run at this particular time, maybe at 10 a.m., at 1 p.m., at 12 p.m.? So I can just be doing other things. I can be working, and that flow is actually running on its own. Then we also have the business process flow. We also have that. If I'm too fast, please let me know. Hi, Francis.
Yes, yes. We are yeah,
Okay.
okay, okay.
Okay. We have the automated cloud flow, and please feel free to ask me any questions. If you have any questions, please just ask me. Thank you very much. So we have our automated cloud flow, and it's actually triggered by an action. I can give you an example of being triggered by an action. Let me say, for instance, I share a form, like for this event now. Let me say, for instance, a form was given to you to add your information, your name, your email, your phone number, stuff like that. And I want to run a flow that each time any person fills that flow, the person gets an email. So for the person to be able to get that email, the form has to be filled. So that is an action. So if you do not fill that form, if anybody does not fill that form, that flow is not going to run. So when you fill the form, you are going to get an email. Okay, thank you for filling this form. I can't wait to see you on my event, stuff like that. Then we also have the instant cloud flow. The instant cloud flow is triggered manually. And when I say triggered manually, I can say, for instance, let me just follow a particular pattern. Let me say, for instance, I actually have from my responses on my Microsoft form, I want to be able to send, after sending that email, I want to gather those responses and send them another email to tell them that, okay, thank you for attending my event, right? So after doing that, I can just easily just send it to an Excel file from Microsoft Form and just send it to them that, okay, I don't have to go through the process of the action has to be triggered. It's very different from your automated cloud flow. So a person does not have to fill a form for them to get the email. I just have to run the flow and all the messages we send. Yeah. So that's it. And I've already explained what is scheduled cloud flow. And the next thing we have our desktop cloud flow. If you can check on your app store on your system or your laptop, you're going to see Power Automate. So you can easily download Power Automate on your system. And you can also use it to automate processes. You can use it to automate processes that does not have APIs, have missing APIs, stuff like that. And the next thing we have your business process flow. So when it allows you to follow a particular step, guides you to follow a particular step. Let me say, for instance, I have to go through an employment onboarding. So I do not have somebody to tell me that, okay, oh, you have to, this is what you are supposed to do, this is what you are supposed to do. There's already a step for me to follow. There's already a step for me to follow that, okay, this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3, and this is step 4. So with your business process flow, it guides you. Then I'm going to go to next step. Okay, so I'm going to explain the benefits of Power Automate, like why I think that Power Automate is good for everybody, and it does not matter your career, what you are doing, you can easily use Power Automate because number one, it increases productivity. So I can have a lot on my plate today, like I can have a lot of tasks I have to do today. I can just easily, maybe I have 10 things to do today or maybe 100. I can just easily automate, let me say 30% of that task. And is it not like, think of something, okay, for instance, the example I made that I have to send an Excel sheet every time. That's an example of a repetitive task. I have to send an Excel sheet every time that I have to send it that, okay, manager, this is the Excel sheet, I have to send it. But when I automate that task, is there any place that will tell you that, okay, I don't want you to use Microsoft Power Automate to make the business faster? Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm asking a question. Like I'm saying that, is there
Sorry.
any company or any establishment that will say that I don't want you to bring productivity into my company? Okay, I'm not getting any answer, but there's no company that's going to tell you that I don't want you to bring productivity into my company. And one other great thing about Microsoft Power Automate, if your company is using Office 365, you also have access to Microsoft, like if they're using the license of Office 365, you also have access to Microsoft Power Automate and even Microsoft Power Apps. So another benefit of Power Automate is that you can access it on any device. Let me say, for instance, I have like a Power Automate approval flow. I can approve that flow on my phone. I can approve it on my system. So it does not matter where I am. Maybe I'm not in the workplace, I'm at home, and there's a request that, okay, we have to make a shipment. This particular goods is no longer in stock and we have to make a shipment for it. Should we go ahead or should we wait? So when an approval flow is sent for me, even though without me being in my workplace, I can easily just either get an email. I can easily get an email on my phone, or I can easily just access it with my Power Automate mobile on my phone, and either I approve the flow or I do not approve the flow. And we also have integration across platform. Like the integration across different platform is seamless. What I mean by this is that, okay, you're trying to, even though we are trying to connect to third-party services that are not even under Microsoft Power Platform. It's very easy for you to connect. You just have to, it depends on the authentication. Most of them, you just have to sign in. You just have to like sign in into your account, and you have access to the particular service or platform you are trying to use. And one other thing, especially even when you're a beginner or even advanced intermediate, you can also use a template. In the Power Automate environment, we have templates that you can use to automate your tasks, which I'm going to show you too. It also helps to reduce human error. Like, you have so many things doing at the same time. It's not possible that you're not going to make mistakes, and mistakes, they are normal to make mistakes. That's fine, you can make mistakes. But when you're trying to help your company, you're trying to work with your company and you're making mistakes all the time, that's not right. So you can easily, with automation, it helps you reduce human error, like things that when you have so many things doing, you can just automate some part of it and have other things, and also do other things. Yeah. We also have decision making, and I gave an example of an approval flow. You have a stock, maybe you have a warehouse, you set things, and you are trying to, you have a warehouse, and maybe some things are actually not in stock, and you have so many processes you have to follow in order for you to go out and buy those products that are not in stock. So you can easily just create an automation for that process, and each of the person that you have to get approval from, they all get an email that, okay, should I go through this process? They can just accept it on their phone or on their system. You don't have to go and meet them one by one. Okay, oh, Mr. John, this is what is happening. I need you to sign on this paper. So you don't have to do all of that. With Power Automate, you can easily just process everything you have. So I'm going to send the links here, but okay. Coming. I think I'm going to go to the next step. Can you see my screen? Please let me know. Hi, Francis. Are you still seeing my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm just trying to send distance here. Okay, I sent some links that can get you started in Power Automate. Also to learn more about desktop flows. And also in those learning paths, they are step-by-step process you can follow to create a flow. So you can easily just start your journey from there. And I also sent a link to my YouTube channel, Medium, and also LinkedIn. If you have any questions, you can connect with me. Okay. So this is my Power Automate environment. So if you can notice, this is my Power Automate environment, and this is the home. All these things you are seeing right here, they are all templates. And if I come to this approval, these are like approval flows, the history sent. So that's it. Then flows, my flows are the ones I've created. Under these cloud flows, we have your instant cloud flow, your automated cloud flow, and also your scheduled cloud flow. Like you can see, it's new flow. So you can create them from here. Then also we have your desktop flow. Then you have flows that people have shared with you. So I don't have any flow that anyone has shared with me. You also have your creates. You can create your flows from here. So if you come down to this place, and there's one good thing about, like recently, Microsoft Ignite, the last Microsoft Ignite this year, they talked about a new feature in Microsoft Power Automate where you get to explain what you want. Like maybe you want that when a response is filled in a form, you want it to be sent to a Microsoft chat, like maybe a Microsoft channel. So you can easily just explain what you want with your own words, which is what it's here. And it's going to give you a suggestion, like it's going to give you what to choose, what goes with what you have explained. And then you can click on next. I also shared like a link to that on the chat, so you can check it out. It's not really available in all regions, but you can definitely check it out. So all these things you are seeing here, they are all templates. So you see, if you can easily just check and say, okay, which one works for me? Am I trying to schedule a reply in Microsoft Teams? Am I trying to start an approval flow? So all of this, you can see we have remote work, we have email, we have notification, we have save to cloud, and we have approval. So there are a lot. So if I come down, you're going to see where I can click on all templates. And all of this you're seeing, they're all connectors. You can see Power BI, SQL Server, all of this. So it's the same thing here, which is templates. Then we have connectors. In connectors, we have the standard connectors, and we also have the premium connectors. The standard connectors are the ones that they are free, they come with your license. Then the premium connectors are paid connectors. Like for now, I can use all of these connectors here because I'm actually using a developer account, which is an E5 developer account. So you can see all of this. And we also have like independent publishers. Maybe somebody created, like most of them here are independent publishers created by individuals. So you can see we even have GitHub, YouTube, all of this. So the possibility is let me, how will I put it in English now? Is limitless. Like you can do so much, and if that connector is not available, you can easily create a connector by using an API to create a, like maybe that connector, maybe the data source you are trying to automate is not available. You can easily create a connector for it. And we also, if you come down to your data, we have tables. Okay, I'm just going to show you that. I'm just trying to show you around your Power Automate environment, your tables, that is your Microsoft Dataverse. I'm going to come back here and see we have connections. We have custom connectors, we have data gateway. Like for instance, where you can use your data gateway is you have to download it on your system. It's a cloud gateway. Maybe for instance, I want to automate, like an SQL server. I want to automate SQL server. I have to download cloud gateway on my system and log in my account. After logging in my account, then I can create a connection to SQL with my data gateway. We also have monitors. You can see all of this. We have your AI, process advisor, and solutions. So I'm just going to go up of this and create a flow, an easy flow we can all understand. So I'm going to start with an automated cloud flow. And I'm going to name this like let me increase my screen just in case, just to let everybody see what I'm doing. Yeah. So right now, I'm trying to create like an automated cloud flow for a Microsoft form. And I have to use like a trigger for it. We have triggers, we have actions. So my trigger here is when a new response is submitted. I'm just going to click on create. And when a new response is submitted is that I want it that when when a new response is submitted, I can actually choose an action that I can get those responses and send an email to those responses. So let me just choose any Microsoft form from what I've created before now. Okay, let me just try that. Get response detail. So this is the action. The form ID is the form, which is review class. Sorry, review class. Then the response ID. So I want to get the responses from that Microsoft form. Then the next thing, I'm going to, I want to share that particular form for me so that you can fill the responses on the form. Okay, I'm going to just look for it. Okay. I think the name, I want to add email address to this. Because I need the email address in order to send that email to the responses. So I'm just going to click on collect response, shorten the URL, and just copy. So I'm going to send it to the chat. Okay, so when I finish creating the flow, you can actually fill your responses on that form so that you can see how it works. So I'm just going to look for the action, send an email V2. Okay, then so what is it? So part of it is respondent's email. Wait, I'm going to wait. Let me just remove this part again. Just added that just now. I have to let me start from the beginning. Let me take cloud flow because of what I just added. Okay, so the reason why I started from the beginning, I know that I can refresh, but I don't want my network to just stop working. So I'm just starting again because I want that email address to show, like the new column I just added to it. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and look for review class, response ID. Then the next action, send an email V2. If there's anything I've done that you don't understand, please just let me know. So for this send an email V2, this action, I'm going to go for the tool to add which person. It's just like your normal email. Like when you are trying to send an email, sure you have to like write down the email you are sending to. So that's what is happening here. So if you check on this dynamic content, you can see it's email address, answer to the question above. That is the answer gotten from my Microsoft form. That is what is coming here. Then the subject, I can just name it. I can just give it any name so you can see. Then the body, I'm going to write hi, the name of that person. So what I'm trying to do right now, I'm trying to make it personalized. Like maybe I fill a form and I wrote my name there, Rachel Irabor. So when I get an email, I'm going to see hi, Rachel Irabor before I'm going to see the next message. Or maybe another person called Sandra, she filled the form. She's still also going to get an email, hi, Sandra. So it's actually personalized to each person that fills the form. Okay. Okay, so next thing I'm going to click on show advanced options. So yeah, you can add if you want to add CC, if you want to add this, you can add it. And one other thing too, it does not mean that you have to use dynamic content in this send an email v2. In case of another use case, you can easily just write out the email. You don't have to use dynamic content. You can easily just write out the email. So I want to change the importance of the email. I want to make the person know that this email is very important. So I'm going to change it to high. Then I'm going to save this. I'm going to save that flow. Okay. Okay, I'm going to click on test, click on manually, then click on test. So if you can see on this particular place, I'm going to zoom in my screen. It's telling me that to see it work now, submit a new response to the selected form. Okay, so I shared the link to this. I shared the link to this form. Please, can we all fill the form? Hi, Francis.
Hi, we are filling. We are filling the form. We are filling
Okay,
the form.
thank you. Yeah. Okay, so your flow ran successfully. So you can see this. And you can see the person is run to, hi, Eric. So you can see that. So I think, so did you get an email? The persons that filled the form. Okay, hi, did you get an email for the person that filled the form?
For me, I'm still filling.
Okay.
Yes, Rachel, I did get a response. Just sharing on the chat.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay. So proceeded. You can see the history of your flow from this place. So that's it. So you can all fill the form and let me know when you get your responses. If you have any questions, please just let me know. Thank you. While we wait for those who are filling the form, if you have any questions, please let me know.
Yes, I got an email as well.
Okay.
Thank you for attending the event. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. And I also shared resources to everything I did today. I shared responses on, if you can check the chats, I shared responses on getting started with Power Automate, learning parts. You can also, and also on Power Automate desktop, and also on the AI capabilities on Power Automate, where you can easily just describe. You can easily describe how you want your flow to, like, what do you want your flow to do? Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Rachel. Is anyone with a question on Power Automate and the way we can be able to improve our productivity? That's a very great session. Really appreciate. Okay, Rachel, you mentioned that you are a student.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are like specializing in Power Automate. Is it something that you want to take it up as a career? No, Power Platform, not Power Automate.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely something I want to take as a, is that something I'm taking as a career already? But
Okay.
in Power Platform, we have different tools in Power Platform. So for now, I'm actually working with Power Automate and Power Apps. Yeah.
Beautiful. So how does the licensing work? Eric is asking that.
Okay, I'm actually using like a developer account right now, but I think it's actually, I know that for Power Apps, we have, for licensing, we have per user per month, and we also have per apps per month. But I've not really gone into the licensing for Power Automate, but I'm just going to check that out and reply you. Like, I'm going to post it on the chat, a link to it on the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So any other person with a question?
Maybe just one, thank you.
Okay.
Can you make a clarity maybe between the difference between the Power Automate console and Power Automate flow design? A clear difference on that.
Rachel, have you had the
Okay,
question?
sorry, I do not understand your question.
I'm asking if you could make a clear difference between Power Automate console and the Power Automate flow designer.
Okay, I have not used the Power Automate Flow Designer.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Any
Any other
person in the
question?
chat? Any person in the chat who can check that maybe before we go to Azure?
Okay.
Okay. Seems no one, but
wait,
maybe
sorry,
we'll...
I'm going to, sorry, let me just share my screen again and show you that. Okay, I just saw that the Power Automate Flow Designer is actually the desktop flow. I think I have it on my system. I'm going to show you. Yeah. Let me share my screen.
And as you're sharing your screen,
Yeah.
are there some API available for Power Automate? Number of them?
Like API, how? When you're trying to create like a custom connector.
Sorry?
Are you asking like when you're trying to create a custom connector?
Yeah, something of that kind.
Okay, I do know that when you're trying to create a custom connector, you can check online. Maybe for example, you are going for Reddit. Maybe you're trying to use Reddit as a connector and you want to run a flow for it, and you notice that there's no connector for Reddit on Power Automate. So I think you can easily just search online for Reddit API, stuff like that, and you can go from there. Yeah.
Okay,
and
thank you.
there are also resources on how to create custom connectors. I think either Julia or Bethany wrote a blog post for it. I'm going to check and also send to the group. Let me just share my screen. Okay, I think not actually seeing down of my screen. Okay, yeah, this is it. I have to. Okay, let me just unshare and just log in. I'm coming. Yeah, sorry. If you have any other question, you can ask why I just work on this. If you have any question, you can ask why I work on it. Yeah.
Hi, Rachel, and greetings to the Power community. My question is on one intends to undertake the exam, Power Apps or Power Platform exam. Key areas you would recommend one to focus, especially on the Power Automate section. Does one need to know all the formulas?
Okay.
And such?
I think that if you want to take the Microsoft, they have different certification paths. But I think the most importantly, even though you are going for Microsoft Power Automate, you have to start with the fundamental. which is your Microsoft Power Platform Fundamental Certification Exam. So after starting with that, then we have your ROPA PL500 exam. That is for Power Automate, and it's really advanced exam. So we have different learning paths. We have Power Apps Maker, we have functional consultants, we have different certifications on Power Platform. So I think that the best thing, if you're going to write like for your Microsoft Power Platform fundamental certification exam, you have to try and understand your environment. Like the way I showed you through your Power Automate environment right now, you have to understand it. You have to understand what is your cloud flow, your Power Automate, what is Power Automate. You have to understand what's instant business desktop, and there's not really questions on the desktop part of it, but you're definitely going to get questions on your cloud flow, your instant cloud flow, and your scheduled cloud flow. And the questions does not come like direct, like you're going to just, most of them, you're not just going to look at it and you already know the answer. You have to read through it. Also for Power Apps, you have to understand the environment. You have to play around it, like you have to build solutions, because you have to build, then you have to go to Microsoft Learn, read learning parts. So I think that's all. Then watch videos on YouTube. We have different YouTube content creators on Microsoft Power Platform. We have April, Reza, we have Kristen, yeah. A lot of people in the community. Did I answer your question?
Yes. Thanks for the guidance.
Okay, I'm trying to sign in, yeah.